Okay, today we have another German Pilsner. This one is from the Warsteiner Brewery, which is in Warstein, Germany, the fourth largest brewery in Germany, as a matter of fact. German Pilsners, as I mentioned earlier, not usually my strong suit. If I want a lighter beer, usually there are some pretty good American adjuncts out there that I get, which include like Natty Boh and some of the cheap beers that aren't too awful. Usually the German Pilsners are a little more expensive, better quality usually, but for the price, I'm not usually a huge fan. I've never had Warsteiner's German Pilsner. This is called their Verum Premium Pilsner. So Warsteiner founded back in 1753 by Antonio Kramer, and it's been around ever since, basically, owned by the Kramer family. There is a new generation of Kramers that owns the brewery. Survived many, many years and a few wars as well. Actually survived a bombing in World War II. The brewery still is around. They actually sponsor competitive hot air ballooning in Germany each year. So that's kind of an interesting thing right there. Here is the logo for Warsteiner. Very German-looking bottle, as you can see. It's another 11.2-ounce bottle, I do believe. Let me make sure here. Yep, 11.2. That's standard European right there. And we have our Pilsner glass that we tried the Pilsener Pilsner in. So we're going to try the Warsteiner Pilsner in this glass. We'll pour the whole thing just like we do with the Pilsener. And this one brewed naturally, as they all are in Germany, according to the German purity law from the 1500s. So all those laws, I guess, still exist. And as we pour it, we're seeing a beer with a very thin head. Not nearly the head that was on the Pilsener beer. Not nearly as many bubbles in this beer either. The Pilsener had a few more bubbles in it than this one does. Fine particulates going up at a pretty rapid rate. So I'm pretty shocked and surprised about the head on this beer not being that much. You know, lacing is standard Pilsner lacing. Not expecting too much in that. There's not too much going on in this beer. It's aromatic hops. And of course your standard German barley, which I believe they get from the Champagne area, as a matter of fact. Let's grab the aroma of the German Pilsner here. Getting a very corn kind of almost skunkish kind of smell to it. I don't believe this beer is a skunked beer. It's a very distinct smell, is the skunked beer. I'm not saying it's skunked. I think this is just the natural appearance. So it's a little bit of an off-corn kind of smell, not quite as fragrant, flowery as the Pilsener was. So the aroma probably leaves a little bit to be desired. Let's grab a taste of it. Kind of getting a bit more of a harsh kind of aftertaste in the back palate. It starts out as a flowery kind of nice accessible beer, and then it kind of just goes really bitter in the back of the throat. Let's try it again. Yeah, I'm still getting that too. It's not awful by any stretch of the imagination. It's a drinkable beer. However, not quite as crisp and refreshing as the Pilsener beer is. So with that said, I'm going to give Warsteiner Verum German Pilsner a 5.5 out of 10.